What's up, guys? It's me, Trayvon. Growing up, I was kind of like a bad kid, so that gave me a lot of crazy stories to tell. And I figure might as well start to tell you guys some of them because they make for pretty good stories actually. And the very first one I'm gonna tell you guys is a pretty fucking insane. It's about the time I almost got charged with a federal offense. The lady in this fucking truck right here just keeps staring at me, so I'm gonna just walk by and film myself. Wow, I walk by her because I don't know. That's the best shit I do. I'm gonna just film myself, film her. Hopefully she looks. Alright, so this story has to deal with a post office, which is the whole entire reason why I almost got charged with a federal offense. It's probably one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me, and I've had some pretty crazy things happen to me, so I'm gonna just get right into it. Alright, so as you can tell, I'm in front of a courthouse, which is where I might end up if I tell this story, but you know what? YOLO. Do people still say YOLO? YOLO. But anyway, the reason I say that is because while this was going on, we were threatened with a federal offense, I think it was called, or whatever, federal offense, at least 20 times, but nothing ever really happened. But nothing really ever happened came from it because I guess the cops didn't have evidence to do it, or they just didn't want to pursue it because it was a pretty dumb thing that happened. But I'm gonna just keep a couple things that could probably get me in trouble from this video, but it's still crazy nonetheless. Alright, so it's a brand new day. I'm at my favorite place to chill, as you guys can see. They actually moved the trees from across the fucking, they call this a river, to right into this backyard, which is pretty shitty, but it had gotten pretty cold and I didn't really feel like filming, so I'm out today and I'm gonna finish telling this story for you guys. Alright, so this story starts off all because of a girl, and I feel like a lot of things happen because of women. Now, I'm not saying that they're the direct cause of this, I'm just saying that men do a lot of crazy shit for women, which is crazy. Alright, so my friend Jay falls in love with this girl, and he's like just obsessed with her. He stops hanging out with us or whatever, and like a couple months later he tells us that he thinks he got her pregnant. Now, it was a huge deal because she was pretty young and he was a couple years older than her, and he didn't want her parents to like freak out and kill him or whatever. So he's like, dude, I gotta get plan B and go to her house. Do you guys want to come? And we're like, dude, yeah, what's up, man? It's always an adventure with you. So we do it. We go to Walmart. He lives the plan B, and he's like, all right, I know we can get their house that's surefire and it'll be the most fun we've ever fucking had. So me and D, being the fucking that we were like, dude, how can we get to her house? He's like, we could get a boat. And I'm like, what? And he tells us that her house is connected to the river that surrounds the fucking whole entire city where we live. And we're like, all right, dude, I've never been in a boat. Let's go. And we get this boat. The first engine we tried doesn't work. So the second one we crank it up and it starts going. So we're fucking riding the boat around like the Chesapeake Bay and just having the time of our life because it's fucking insane. And as we like start to like actually go to her house, we see like these storm clouds. I'm like, dude, those look pretty fucked. I'm kind of scared. Should we keep going? And he's like, yeah. Little did we know what was in store for us. So we took turns like steering the boat because like none of us have actually really like steered a boat like that because it had a lot of rudder and shit on the engine. I don't really know boat talk, but as we're steering the boat, it's my turn. I'm like, dude, we gotta go to that way because that's the way he said was her house. So we go that way and we're staring into the fucking storm clouds. I'm like, dude, we should turn around. He's like, nah, man, nah, it's gonna be alright, it's gonna be alright. And as he says that, not 5 minutes later, God opens the fucking floodgates on us. Like, I don't know if it was because we're on the water, which made it worse, but it was insane. Like, water was coming from every direction, and I felt like I was gonna die that night because it was just so much rain. Like, I can't put into perspective how terrible this rain was. It was just coming down in like fucking gallons and fucking raindrops, I guess. But the rain's getting progressively worse, and as it's getting worse, I'm like, dude, we gotta turn around. So he takes the fucking steering thing and we turn around, and it's not getting any better. So I'm like, dude, we should just swim to shore. So we're like 10 yards away from shore, and we're like, all right, bet we gotta dump everything from the boat because he didn't want to trace. So we dump everything from the boat, and we're just having a fucking time of our lives. We're going crazy, and we send the boat away, and it's like a fucking Vikings funeral. And so we swim to shore, and we're like, all right, dude, what now? So we go back to my friend D's house, and as we're on the D house, we're like, dude, we gotta skate there because there's no other way we can get there. And he was like on a time crunch because I think it was like the last day for plan B to be effective or anything, and he wanted to hurry up and get to her house. So he was like, dude, I'm gonna skate there, you guys don't have to come because it's like 20 miles out. And back then he was like our boy, like he was our closest friend, so we would do anything for each other. So we go and we start skating. Now mind you, it's raining, just not as hard as it was before. So we're like, all right, dude, all our boards are old, let's just skate. So we start skating. We get like, I want to say like 20 minutes into the skate test. It's 20 miles, mind you, 20 miles. And so we're skating and it starts raining fucking its ass off again, just like we're on the boat. And I was like, dude, this sucks. I can barely see in front of me. It's raining so hard. I'm getting puffed in the face and I can't see where I'm going. I want to go home. And he was like, all right, guys, you guys can go home. This is my responsibility. You don't have to do this. And we're like, I think he was fucking trying to guilt us into doing it, and it worked because I was like, dude, we can't just leave you to go by yourself. And so we just book it, man. We skate the 20 miles and it was the most miserable I've ever been. The rain lets up eventually, but it doesn't make it any better because we're all fucking soaking wet. All right, so the skate there was pretty uneventful. We stopped at like this one shop because we like were starving, we were wet, and we seen like this truck, and we wanted to just sit inside of it because we were like, dude, we're fucking miserable. And like in front of the fucking truck was a shop, and we seen like food in the shop, and we tried to get in, but it was just not happening. And so the lights turn on, and we see like these people drop out, so we just leave, and we get to like the area where she lives, and my friends are like, all right, dude, you guys can sit in the post office right here because you can't come into her house with me. I gotta sneak in her house myself. So me and my friend D sit in the fucking post office, and we're in there for like, I know, at least 3 hours waiting for him, dude, and it was just the worst. Me and D are in there fucking like down to our boxers trying to dry off our clothes, and like we're just fucking around the like, fucking post office, just talking and shit. And then shit happens. I won't say what happens, but shit happens. And Jay comes up and he sees it, and he's like, what the fuck happened in here? And we're like, me and D are like, he started it, talking about each other. And he gives us clothes that he brought from her house. And like, I had the most comfortable fucking pair of sweatpants, dude. Like, they were so comfy, dude. And I kept them that, like, after that. But so after like we all get dressed and we're all ready to leave, he's like, all right, dude, you guys ready? We're like, yeah. So we leave, we get our boards, and we leave. I said leave like 10 times, but we leave. So as we're skating back, this cop drives by, and we're all freaking out because we're like, dude, what if that's for us? And so we keep driving, we keep riding, and we see him like do like a U-turn in the middle of the street. So we dip into the woods, he drives by. So we go back out of the woods, we start skating again. We see another cop drive by, and we're like, shit. So we start just fucking booking it because we didn't want to look suspicious, and we just wanted like we were getting home or something. So the cop pulls up by us, and he's like, what are you guys doing out this late, yada yada yada. We're like trying to get home, and he like looks at us, he's like, I think I got a call about you guys. So we start freaking out, or like, but we don't visually freak out, we just like inside we're freaking out or whatever. And he's fucking handcuffs Jay, zip ties me and D, and so we're sitting there zip tied in the back of his cop car. And it was like some like really skinny nerdy cop, and he drives us back to where the call came from. And so we're sitting there in his car, and he's like trying to make friends with us for some reason, I guess, to be good cop bad cop, or maybe he was just like a really nerdy cop or whatever. Ooh. But anyway, the dude's pretty friendly. He's like, yeah guys, I used to skate and do all kinds of extreme sports because we had our boards. And he's like, yeah, I used to be just like you guys. And he pulls up like this thing on YouTube, and it's like mountain, like extreme mountain BMX. He's like, yeah, that's me right there, just pointing to some random dude that looks nothing like him. We're like, yeah man, cool, that's fucking tight, man. Yeah. And like Jay and D start like talking to each other, and Jay starts mouthing off and getting smart, whatever. And 2 other cops pull up, and we're like, shit. So these 2 other cops pull up. They were like, one was a state trooper, the other was a state trooper, and I think the last was a sheriff. And Jay got the sheriff, and the sheriff was like the most dickish out of all of them, and Jonas was like the most rude out of all of us, so I guess it fit. And so like Jay's freaking out with the sheriff and shit, and they drive us back to the station, and we're in the station handcuffed to like, I don't know if you guys ever been arrested or not, but like once you get detained, you get like handcuffed, and you're like to this little bar, and they're stuck to the wall or whatever. And we're sitting there for like, I don't know how long it is, but whenever you're in there, it feels like hours. And we get fingerprinted and everything. So after what feels like freaking hours, my mom comes, and she's like flipping out on me because I was a pretty bad kid, and I used to be like a pretty nerdy kid, and I was just a goody two shoes, and I used to get good grades. And then I moved to like this new place, and I was starting to get in trouble a lot. She was just freaking out on me because she thought that I would be like a degenerate all my life or whatever, and she didn't want that for me. So she's freaking out on me, like I'm sitting there looking fucking dumb, all wet with my board, fucking sitting on my lap with my wet clothes, just sitting on my fucking board. And she looks at me, and as soon as like the first thing she does when she like smacks me in the back of my head. I'm like, wow, that's embarrassing. As soon as I tried to film that dude, he looked at me, man, but I couldn't bitch out. So this all happens, and I go home. Mind you, Jay and D are still in there, and I don't know how long they're gonna be in there because like their parents weren't as strict as mine. My mom was insanely strict on me when I was growing up, and Jay and D's parents are more relaxed. They didn't really know how long they were gonna be in there, and it was kind of funny because I was the first one out, but I knew then and there I was getting my ass whooped when I got home because it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. My mom was just fucking pissed. Looking back on it, it's funny, dude, but I was so fucking scared. And so we get home, and I don't know if I got my ass whooped or not. I probably did, but all I remember is being like she just looked at me and like she just looked so disappointed. And that right there is so much worse than getting your ass whooped, dude. Knowing that you let your parents down is just the worst feeling ever, man. And so that all happens, and I'm like grounded for like probably like a month or whatever. And it was just crazy, man. The whole entire time, the cops were telling us that we were getting charged with a federal crime and we were going to jail. Like we were getting a federal offense and we were just going to jail. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We were just going to jail automatically. And it's been like, I think like 2.5 years since that happened, and nothing. It's been like 2.5 years since that happened. I haven't really heard anything from it. I haven't talked to Jay in a couple months because he's a fucking dick. And D hasn't heard anything about it either. So we're just chilling. I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for me to slip up and post this video and arrest my dumb ass, you know? And if they do that, I'll be able to make a video on how I got arrested. Just jokes. But yeah, that's the time I got almost charged with a federal offense. One of the craziest nights of my life. Do I regret it? No. I mean, I wish I didn't get in trouble, but it made for a good story to tell you guys. I have a lot of crazy stories. I don't know like if you guys like these kind of videos, but if you like these kind of videos, drop a like, and I might start telling you guys more and more of the stories that we've gone through, because me, D, and Jay go through a lot of fucking crazy shit. Mostly because of Jay that I realized now. And it was, looking back now, he was the cause about a lot of the shit that happened to us. Wow. But like I said, if you guys like these kind of videos, I'll do more of them. I have a fair few amount of crazy stories to tell you guys. They're mostly us getting in trouble, but you know, we lived in a small town. There was nothing else really to do except get in trouble. That sounds really fucking stupid, but I'm gonna go skating. I don't know if I'm putting this video because I want this video to be too long, but I'll see you guys later. Alright, so I'm gonna just end this video here. Thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot every time you click on my videos. I thought that was a real person. Dude, look at her. She kind of bad. But I suck at outros. So I'm gonna just end this video here. Thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot to me. I'll see you guys Wednesday, I think. Gang. I straightened my hair. You guys like it? Gang.